College football presented by Marathon. Folks, you're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Oklahoma Sooners have that 3 beside their name. 3, the third-ranked team in the country, trailing 10-0. And it's about following a meticulous plan, Robert Griffin.
He wants them to be relentless. He is a builder of programs. He wants them to play with pride. He wants them to play with energy. And thus far, they have done just that. Man, these Kansas Jayhawks came to play today. They don't care who's on the other side of the ball, whether they're awake or not. They said today, we're going to show on the scoreboard the merits of all our hard work. And thus far in the first half, they did that. And let's see if they can continue it into the second half.
The Oklahoma Sooners are going to have the football to start the third quarter. Kansas looking for their first conference win since 2 years ago this weekend. The Sooners will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. We talked ad nauseum about Caleb Williams, the true freshman, saving the Sooners in the last 2 weeks. How did they get back into it here, Rob?
Yes, like we talked about in the first half, they like to go fast. But in order to go fast, you have to put plays together and sustain drives. That's third downs. That's running the ball effectively. Kennedy Brooks needs to get more involved, and Caleb Williams has to calm down. Play the game the way you've been playing the last game and a half, and you guys should be okay, or at least have a chance to get back in this thing.
Going to hand it off to Brooks on 1st and 10. He'll pick up a yard. Caleb Williams missed a deep shot earlier in the game. Let's go down to Quint.
Penalties and execution, the main issues for Oklahoma, according to their head coach, Lincoln Riley. But I think those are just symptoms of a widespread, more serious issue, and that is the lack of emotion. This team came out today, they were flat as a pancake. There's no mojo here, there's no vibe. Let's see if that changes in the second half.
Williams has been a great catalyst. Right now scrambling. Great second effort to make it out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down after that gain of 4. 3rd and 5. This Kansas defense, which is ranked, frankly, folks, near the bottom of a lot of the statistical categories, has limited this Oklahoma offense to less than double-digit plays almost so far this week.
When they came into the game, they only had 3 sacks. Only 2 interceptions, and they've already racked up a couple of those in this game alone. This defense is one that's ranked at the bottom, but it doesn't matter. You have to play the game every Saturday. And right now, they're playing at a high level.
Williams out of the shotgun again. Delivers a strike complete to Jeremiah Hall. Ball came loose. It's on the ground. No signal yet. Hall may have retrieved it, and the Sooners retain possession. As Kansas had a momentary opportunity. 1st and 10, Oklahoma.
Man,
close call.
Oklahoma is playing with disaster today. You see it right here. Jeremiah Hall, H-back, gets the catch, and this fumbles. The guy just launches himself and hits the ball right away, and they are very, very lucky to have gotten that ball back. Wow.
1st and 10 from the 41. The toss into the boundary. This is going to be Brooks again, and Brooks stopped up after a gain of about 2 by Bryant. A historic first half here in Lawrence so far. First time Oklahoma has been held scoreless in the first quarter in a conference game in almost 5 years. Look at those couple firsts up at the top of your screen, and then Kansas, their first lead against a top 5 team in 7 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of firsts on that list, and they're really good for Kansas and not so good for Oklahoma and the Sooners.
Looks like we've got Keenan Caldwell down in the field for the Jayhawks, being tended to by the athletic training staff. We'll be back after this. Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Okay. What do we make of that sign, RG3?
I know this guy's the most famous fan in Lawrence, Kansas right now.
2nd and 8 for the Sooners after recovering their own fumble. Pass completed the 45. And that's going to go to Eric Gray. It'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down. Gain of 7 on the play. Don't count this team out. Just down 10-0. Remember, Williams led them back from a 3-touchdown deficit against Texas. 3rd down and 2. 4 receivers out to the top of your screen. Little receiver screen complete. And a nice cut and run after the catch by Eric Gray to pick up the 1st down. You know, I had a chance to meet and speak with Caleb Williams' dad, Carl, and his mother, Dana Williams, at the hotel a little bit earlier today. You can see, after speaking with those loving and doting parents, where he gets his confidence from and his composure as well. Keeping his composure here and tiptoeing out of bounds. They'll lose a couple of yards. Gavin Potter there with the heat.
You know, yeah, you were telling me that you had that had an opportunity to speak with them, and I think that's really cool when the parents can show the support, travel with their sons and daughters in college sports, and really just show them that love that, and you get to see really who they are, you know, where they come from, their background, and Caleb Williams is a great player with a bright future.
2nd and 12. Farouk in motion, now sets. Farouk on the catch. Made one tackler miss, and then Logan Jr. finally brings him down after a 5-yard gain. Well, time now for today's Aflac trivia question. Who was the last true freshman to start at quarterback for Oklahoma? True freshman.
I know a lot of people are using Google right about now.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. That's a
Jamel Holloway?
That's a tough one.
Eric Gray in the backfield on 3rd and 7. They got to get to the 28. Williams with a little audible. Fires complete down to the 22-yard line. They move the chains. Good catch by Drake Stoops. Working against Jason Gillum. He picks up 13. Stoops has been called a couple of times this afternoon. Oklahoma going a little bit faster here. Williams hands it off. That's Eric Gray, brought down by Gavin Potter. Picked up 5. Oklahoma finding a little rhythm here, Robert. How are they doing it?
Well, it's not just the going fast. They're also featuring Eric Gray right now. They've thrown it to him on a couple screens, thrown it to him out of the backfield, handing the ball off to him. He's a transfer from Tennessee. He scored his first touchdown last week. But I just like the consistency that they're working with. On 3rd down right there, they make an audible, get the little out route with the go ball, and 2 routes coming across. It's just they're playing good football right now and executing.
Williams hands it off to Brooks. Brooks wrapped up and lunging forward to pick up the 1st down. Great second effort as Dotson wrapped him up around the shoelaces. But it's 1st down for Oklahoma at the 12.
You see right here, Kennedy Brooks gets tackled, 2 arms on the legs, tackled in the open field, and that's not normally something that you see from him. And it's just a sign of how the day's been going. Oklahoma's had to work through a lot of adversity today, and normally Kennedy Brooks would make that guy miss, but good on Romello Dotson there to make that tackle in the open field.
12th play of the Sooner drive here. Brooks runs it into the boundary, cuts up. Broke a couple of tackles and pushed out of bounds at about the 8. Rich Miller finally bringing him down, a 4-yard gain on the play. And Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley's crew on that side of the football looking like what we expected coming into this football game on this drive.
That's their best drive of the game by far, right?
Yep, easily.
And the thing that just comes to mind is in talking to defensive coordinator Brian Boylan, he said he wanted to make Oklahoma earn everything they got today, and that's exactly what they've done, including on this drive. They just got to try to stop them from getting 7.
2nd and 5, hands it off to Brooks again. Brooks is tackled at about the 5-yard line by Nate Betts. Sooners just rolling up their sleeves and going to work on this drive. 3rd down, though. Third and 3 coming up. Williams into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Hazelwood again. He had 3 touchdowns last weekend, and it's first here this afternoon.
Oh, man, Oklahoma comes out after the half, puts together a nice drive. What they did there is they ran a little slot fade right there with Jaden Hazelwood with a known back shoulder throw. You could tell that him and Caleb Williams knew what they were going to do. Caleb Williams gets the snap, makes a nice throw, and they're back in this thing. Make this extra point here. It's 10-7, down by 3, and they can try to just let all those worries from the first half go away. It's a great job for them. That was big time by the Oklahoma Sooners.
10-7 football game, and after hitting the snooze button, not knowing that the game started at 11 o'clock local time, Oklahoma has arrived. They trail by a field goal when we come back. You know that's going to be fun. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma Sooners, with Hazelwood's 6th touchdown this season, 7th of his career, capping a 14-play, 75-yard drive to start the 3rd quarter. Right back in this football game.
You see it right there. 3 less plays than they had in the entire first half, more yards, and a touchdown. This is the Oklahoma offense that we were expecting to see the entire game, but they decided to wake up in the second half and make a game out of this one with Kansas.
Logan Jr. back for this kick. It'll come out 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Jason Bean right now tasked with the appropriate response to that scoring drive by Oklahoma. How huge would it be if they could at least get some semblance of points on this drive, Robert?
They need it, right? We talk about this Uncle Mojo. The momentum is kind of shifted to Oklahoma. Why? Because they came out, put a drive together, and got 7. Now Kansas has to answer here, even with 3 points, which show that they're still in this game, as in the momentum side.
Hands it off to his tailback in a bruising run by Devin Neal. Picked up about 9 on that play.
And they're picking up where they left off in the first half, running the ball, owning the line of scrimmage. Devin Neal, 2-sport athlete here at Kansas. As we talked about, he's the local guy. He's the local favorite, the local hero. Hey, give him the ball. Let him go out there and show that answer and lean on this offensive line that's been playing great all game.
Real big part of the personality of that offensive unit for Kansas. Neal makes it 2nd down and 1. Gonna get another chance here. Picks up the 1st down and then some. Ball came loose, but he was already down. Robert, are you surprised at the amount of success they've had running the football?
I am a little surprised because no one thought that this Kansas offensive line was going to come out here and be maulers today.
Wow.
You know, that's the weakness of Oklahoma's defense, is their ability to stop the run, stop it up front. And you see right here today, 30 rushes for 148 yards, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. This is what Texas did to them. This is what TCU did to them. But we weren't sure if Kansas quite had that strength up front, and they are showing today that they got it.
1st and 10 from the 46. This time nowhere to go, but Neal got about 2 with his forward progress. Ryan Asamoah making the tackle on the play for Oklahoma. We haven't seen Kansas challenge that secondary that was victimized big time last week in that win against TCU. In particular, Jaden Davis was picked on. Quentin Johnston gave him work last week, straight up. He's keeping it a buck. 2nd and 8.
Oh.
And we saw that in the first half a lot from that defensive front for Oklahoma.
Offside, number 88. Defense jumped into the neutral zone, causing the offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's the 4th offsides penalty by Oklahoma's defense, and that's exactly what Lincoln Riley was alluding to when he spoke to Quint Kessenich a moment ago.
Yeah, you see the guy right here, and you're like, why is he wearing number 88 anyway? Is he supposed to be on offense?
That's it.
Come on, Kelly. You should know the snap count. You're wearing an offensive number anyway.
I know we have double numbers in college football, but yeah, that was interesting. Under 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd. 2nd and 3 now. They run it again. Neal. And he's going to be brought down right near the line of scrimmage by Bonitto. Bonitto, we haven't called his name a whole bunch today. One of the leaders defensively from South Florida, St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the storied football programs down there in the Fort Lauderdale area. Former high school basketball player, uses a lot of his footwork and handiwork to make tackles and put a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. He did a great job spying quarterback Adrian Martinez several weeks ago. His agility in space. On 3rd and 3, trying to stay on the field. Complete for the first down and then some. Arnold with the catch. Lawrence Arnold moves the sticks. A huge conversion on 3rd down.
That was finger looking good. You got here Lawrence Arnold. He's running across the formation. Big, tall, lanky guy. Throw it up, let him make a catch. He's trying to find the end zone, trying to get through, guys. Look at Jason Bean. He said, look, guys, I know I don't have 300 yards passing and 4 touchdowns today, but I've been effective throwing the ball, moving the chains, doing what the coaches are asking me to do. He is playing big-time ball right now for what his coaches are asking him to do. He's doing it at a high level. Gotta love it.
1st and 10. Fairchild across the formation. The pass complete. Quick receiver screen. Oh, he stays on his feet. McBride with a little spin move. Eluding one tackler and picking up another first down. Poor tackling by the Sooners on that 21-yard gain. Yeah, it'll make you shake your head a bit.
The poor tackling is continuing to plague the Sooners. Right here, oops, spin move on the sideline, getting vertical. Man, these guys look like they're having a lot of fun out there today, and I know the Kansas faithful are excited for them.
And still sticking to the formula, Robert, running the play clock down, taking their time. Orderly and methodical. Toss to the wide side of the field. Neal cuts it up. Gets down just short of the end zone at about the 1, just inside the 1. Yeah, he's saying, feed me. He wants it again.
He's saying, feed me to rock. And this lack of tackling is continuing to be the bane of the Sooners' existence. Right here, Stephen McBride, spin move on the sideline. Devin Neal gets the jet sweep toss, and he turns it up the field, and they're just missing tackles left and right. Man, you want to talk about a response. These Jayhawks are responding in a big way, moving the ball all the way down the field and doing what got them there.
Telling numbers there. Rush yards. And we got a flag down.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 33. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Boy, those are the plays you can't afford to have if you're the Jayhawks with such a slim margin of error. That's only their 3rd penalty, though. They've been very disciplined so far today.
They have, and they bring in Spencer Rowe there, and he goes a little prematurely. Maybe he's a little excited. They're moving the ball down the field against the Oklahoma Sooners, but as you said, you can't have those type of penalties. It pushes them back here, but they've got a couple more downs to make up those yards and get in the end zone.
2nd and goal from just outside the 8. Bean on the run into the end zone. His receiver fell. No flag, and it'll be 3rd and goal coming up, intended for Cardell.
He might have actually had Trevor Cardell there if he didn't fall down. But right here, he just throws a my guy or nobody ball. His guy falls down. Luckily, the Oklahoma Sooner guy right there, Joshua Eaton, doesn't have hands and can't catch it. Jason Bean got away with one there. He must be living right.
3rd and goal. They were able to convert last time on the big 3rd down. See what they do here. Fairchild, their tall receiver, number 2, to the top of your screen. Bean on a predetermined run, cuts it up. Bean! He didn't get in, just shy of the end zone, literally inches away.
Ruling on the field.
Oh, so close.
4th down.
So 4th and inches. And what does Coach Leipold do?
Look at him. Boom. Oh, go the other way, get vertical, and yep, just down short of the goal line. Right here, boom.
Yeah, he's down.
Right there, man.
Good call. Just out.
What do you do? They're going for it, baby.
Devin Neal has been a workhorse for them. Play clock already at 5. Neal, touchdown Jayhawks. He's in, no doubt. And a big-time response, and why not stomp a little bit?
Devin Neal said, feed me the rock, coach. Coach Leipold, feed me the rock. They gave it to him. He said, say less. I'll meet you in the end zone, baby. What a response by the Jayhawks. Just when Oklahoma comes out, puts 7 points on the board, and it seems like the momentum shifting their way, they grab it right back.
Man, Devin Neal right now, a portrait of excitement and emotion. They've certainly got a lot of juice there on the sidelines. Looked like he was hitting them folks too, doing his little dance. Why not? It's about the culture here. Doing things right, being a professional, belief, pride, relentlessness. And right now, the lead when we come back.
Gonna come out here and get a win. He throws an interception. He's smiling and laughing with his guy Marvin Mims on the sideline. You know, hey man, this is what we're gonna do. And then after the touchdown in the second half, it's all serious. What do we call it? It just got real.
Yes, it did.
They understand that now in this game, late in the third, they're down by 10 points. Their defense isn't stopping Kansas' offense, and they got to go make something happen right now.
Let's go back to the studio.
All right, guys, AT&T 5G studio update. Sam Hartman continues to sling it all over the yard. Again, he finds Jaquarii Roberson. That's just good touch. Roberson takes it the rest of the way right now. Wake Forest up on Army, 35-28.
You know, Matt, I was speaking with Chris Paul a couple of days ago. He said, Mark, Wake Forest is a football school.
It's a football school.
I don't want to hear anything else about basketball. It's a football school. 1:30 to go in the third quarter. Let's see what Oklahoma's response is on the reverse. West taking it downfield, got a lane and an alley, and off to the races. West inside the 10, first and goal Sooners. What an answer by them. Webb saved the touchdown on the play, and they got back a huge chunk.
Well, if you're trying to get back in the game, this is how you do it. Lincoln Riley said, I'm pulling all the tricks out the bag. He gives it to Trayvon West. And you see here, and he's running down the field, and oh, there's a hold right there. Oh, they might have got away with one right there. I know the Boomer Sooner and all the Sooner Nation is happy that the ref didn't call that one. But wow, you want to get back in the game quick, do a reverse, run it down the field, get in the red zone.
66 yards in all. That's Jeremy Webb, who's down on the field. But you alluded to it, Robert. What a tremendous play call by the Sooners and Lincoln Riley.
It's a gutsy play call.
Yeah.
Very gutsy.
What's the risk there?
I mean, the risk is they get penetration and
Okay.
knock you back, and now it's 2nd and 15.
Okay. Webb, I think, was the player in on the tackle.
Yeah, you see him right
Nice
here.
to see him get up.
He's running off the field, and goes down. Uh-oh. Maybe it was a late onset injury feeling, or
Late on. Is that a medical term?
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Okay.
Late onset injury feeling. I don't know, but something tells me that
little birdie was chirping in his ear to give them the opportunity to reset themselves.
There you go. First and goal. A look of purposeful intent on the face of Caleb Williams. From the 9. Hands it off to Brooks. And he's tied up right near the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard on the play. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Kansas up 10 on the number 3 team in the country, who this year have seemingly specialized in comebacks. 7-0. They got a clean sheet so far this year, but they flirted with danger on several occasions. And doing it again here this afternoon. They came in a prohibitive favorite. Williams pulls it out. Caught, touchdown, Hall. Their second touchdown of the third quarter.
And right there, you just see how the threat of run by Caleb Williams and how effective the running backs have been draws the linebackers up and allows Jeremiah Hall to sneak right on by. Woo! We got us a doozy, don't we?
What about that? 14 seconds to go for Hall. Right there, a fourth touchdown catch this season, 12th of his career. Williams much more focused. No smiling right now.
Oh, he ain't smiling at all.
Extra point good, back to within a field goal, 17-14. Well, we asked you earlier as we revisit our Aflac trivia question. Who was the last true freshman quarterback to start for Oklahoma?
You know, it's great that you find these answers because
Jamel
you do some
Holloway,
studying.
Right?
But it's the
I don't think I'm right.
It's the Mullet brothers. It's Cale Gundy.
Oh.
He's actually on the staff.
Wow. What about that?
Oh, yeah, he's on the staff.
Did you look that up?
I did not look it up. I found it in my research this week because, you know, Caleb Williams, big storyline, big deal this week, and first freshman to start since Cale Gundy, and it's amazing that he's actually on the staff. As you see Caleb Williams right
Look
here
at that leadership
pumping
right
up
there.
the defense. Look at him. He got the do-rag going.
I'll tell you what, Lincoln Riley told us a great story about his recruiting visit at Oklahoma. He was there with his mom and dad, Dana and Carl Williams, and he said he remembered them going through campus, taking a walk and going to the different buildings, and he remembers the family and Caleb being very interested in the details, you know, expectations, academically, athletically, a development plan for their son. And he moved to Norman early, Williams did, on the kickoff return. Oklahoma with good coverage. They started recruiting other players. Flag down on the field. Caleb Williams started calling up other 4- and 5-star recruits saying, hey, maybe you want to join me here in Norman, Oklahoma. And at the time, remember, he was QB number 2.
Yes, he was.
He speaks to his concept of team.
And his confidence, you know? Anytime you commit somewhere where they already have a guy, like a Spencer Rattler, and in your own class, you already have a guy committed, it just shows how much you believe in yourself.
Number 5, kicking team, 5-yard penalty. They will re-kick the ball.
They're going to re-kick it. So we'll tee it back up, literally and figuratively. Spencer Rattler, QB number 2 right now. Usurped on the depth chart in wake of that Texas game.
And I also want to say, just for Spencer Rattler and watching him throughout the game and how he's gone about being a leader on the sideline in the midst of this team going through some adversity, right?
Right.
That's big on him because he could easily check out and say, you know what, coach benched me. I don't want to be a part of this. He's there for his guys. He's supporting Caleb Williams. You love to see that from a young guy, and no matter what happens for him in the future, you root for guys like that.
It's great because Lincoln Riley is very intentional in pointing out that Spencer Rattler had a great week last week and would have been ready to play and would have played well if given the opportunity. Return out to the 28. We check in with the studio.
Guys, this Army-Wake Forest game is just back and forth. Army lined up for a punt. They decide to fake it. Got a player wide open, but watch Travion Red read it and dare to be great. 83 yards later, Wake Forest goes up 42-28. However, Army gets the ball back moments ago. I mean, you turn around and there's a 75-yard touchdown either way. 42-34, barring the extra point.
Wow, what a game. Meanwhile, back here on 1st and 10. That's going to be Devin Neal, who already has 2 touchdowns today for the Jayhawks. That's the last play of the third quarter. 45 minutes in the books, and you're looking at the comeback kid, Caleb Williams. He's done it before. Does he have another miracle in him for Lincoln Riley and the Sooners, ranked number 3? The Jayhawks looking for the upset when we come back to Lawrence for the 4th. Are open here. No more tickets required. If you're in town, come on down, and they have. Trying to witness something historic and special here, and a big hit on defense. What a play by Ugwoegbu. Trevor Wilson, ball carrier.
See here, Trevor. Oh, you can hear that from a mile away. Trevor Wilson's like, man, I'm a wide receiver. Why they got me back here running the ball, getting hit like this? But it does appear that Oklahoma's defense has woken up, and they're playing with a lot of energy. Man, why'd they have to wait for things to get bad before they got good?
Jane Witter also in on the tackle for the Sooners. 3rd down and 8. They had a big conversion in the previous quarter on 3rd down. Blitz coming, and he finds his receiver. It's dropped by Arnold. Wow.
You see them here. They bring the blitz late. Add-on blitz right there. Jason Bean uses his legs, gets outside the pocket, and Lawrence Arnold drops the ball. Now, he's not going to get the first down. He's short of the first down, but at least it puts them in a situation where they get more yards. And in that moment right there, if you're Kansas, you need him to make that play. Yeah, maybe you're still punting because you're not going to go for it on 4th down in your own territory, but at least it's still positive energy and momentum for you.
This is just the 2nd punt of the afternoon for Vernon. And it's a returnable one to Mims. Marvin Mims across midfield. Good starting field position. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, guys, Cincinnati's been back and forth with Navy all day, starting to get their separation now. 2nd touchdown of the day for Josh Wiley. Now, Bearcats up 27-10 over Navy, end of the 3rd quarter.
Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Cincinnati sitting at number 2 right now. Oklahoma at 3.
You still feel like they're going to try to find a way to get Cincinnati out of that college football playoff?
I think Luke Fickell's squad is deserving as a representative in the college football playoff when those first rankings and standings come out in a couple of weeks. Based on their body of work. There's Caleb Williams, back to pass, slings it into traffic, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. You noted earlier that he's thrown it into traffic and gotten some very auspicious results on 50-50 balls. That time, Stonger was the intended receiver.
Yeah, sometimes when you throw the ball down the field and you just throw it like you have nothing to lose, you're praying and hoping that your receivers will make those plays for you. Right there, he kind of threw it out of bounds. Maybe it was a little bit of a throwaway. But if he threw it in bounds, number 1, Kenny Logan, is a ball hawk. He was going to make a play on that one for sure.
On 2nd down, Williams finds his receiver out of the backfield. Brooks on the move. Got a blocker ahead of him. Brooks brought down finally at the 24-yard line. Got a great block on the play from Tyrese Robinson. Well, our Week 7 Monday Night Football matchup has the Saints coming off the bye in Seattle taking on the Seahawks. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN Deportes and the ESPN app. ESPN2 will have Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli Manning. Coverage begins Monday Night Countdown, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. A 24-yard gain on that previous play. 1st and 10 from the 24.
Guess on that Monday Night Football when you got Jameis trying to eat some more W's, huh?
However he wants to serve them up. Williams pulls it out, finds his receiver across the formation. Nice run by Gray. Gray close to the end zone, pushed out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. Eric Gray put a nice move on Jeremy Webb to pick up another 23. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1.
See here, Eric Gray's having him a nice solid game, catching the ball and running it. Almost gets into the end zone, but there's that man I was talking about, Kenny Logan Jr., knocking him out of bounds, flying all around the field, and he was a little slow to get up as they're going over to check on him right now. That would be a really big loss for them if he's out.
Yeah, he had a big afternoon so far. Quint.
Logan down on a knee here off that big tackle on the sideline, and he is a key component to this Kansas defense. But being on this Oklahoma sideline the last 5 minutes, man, this is a different body language, just a different posture. The Sooners have finally arrived with a sense of urgency. They're bringing emotion to the table, and they've clearly found their rhythm now offensively. So that has swung the full pendulum today for them. Flat as a pancake in the first half, and now they're here for real.
Yeah, that's so true, Quint. As I mentioned, this Oklahoma team has flirted with danger a lot this year, and we noted in speaking with them, Robert, earlier this week, especially, defensive coordinator Alex Grinch. He sounded like the Grinch at times, and you would never guess that they were 7-0 and ranked number 3 in the country.
He said that tackling has hurt them. Injuries have hurt them. They haven't played well around their freshmen that had to play. But the thing that I'm noticing today is that they are waiting for things to get bad before they get good. It's kind of like when you walk in somewhere and you're going to compete somewhere and you get slapped in the face. You get slapped in the face, and now all of a sudden you want to be the player that you are. Why don't you be that player from the beginning of the game? That way you're not in this situation that you're in right now. But we got to give credit to Kansas. They have played really well today.
Brooks in the backfield. Takes the handoff and scores it. Touchdown Sooners with their first lead of the afternoon. They got a flag down on the play. Let's see if it stands. Flag back at the 4-yard line.
Looks like it's going to be a personal foul on O.J. Burrows. Had a little fist fight there with one of the receivers from Oklahoma.
For Brooks, it'll be his 8th rushing touchdown of the season.
The play is over. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 5. Defense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff. That is number 5's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Well, Brooks, who had the touchdown here.
Yeah, you see it right here. You're going to watch. They always get the second guy. He kind of holds him a little bit. He gets his hand off him. Man, what you doing? Hits him in the face. Jaden Hazelwood's laughing because he knows, hey, man, you just hurt your team.
That second one was really unnecessary. Oklahoma leading by 4. A look at the litany of close contests they've had this year. All that counts, though, is the W. Back after this. To help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, Allstate. On a crisp, slightly overcast Saturday afternoon here, the second last weekend in the month of October, the Oklahoma Sooners playing with a perilously close margin right now. It's 21-17 with 12:35 to go in the fourth quarter.
Seems like they do this a lot. They like playing with fire.
After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, guys, remember next week, Michigan State. First things first for the Wolverines. Northwestern blocked punt. Cornelius Johnson lays out, gets the block. A few plays later, ensuing drive, Hassan Haskins takes it right up the gut. Boy, is next week going to be fun. They've just tacked on a field goal, 27-7 Wolverines.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. Back here. I tell you what, Mel Tucker's doing a fantastic job at Michigan State. Really, I think, deserves some credit in terms of Coach of the Year balloting. Bean runs it out of bounds. Little or no gain. Well, our Saturday night football matchup, Big Ten battle in Bloomington. Heisman hopeful Stroud. Running back Henderson taking on number 5 Buckeyes against Indiana. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. One tap. 2nd and 11 coming up.
Seems like Stroud and the Buckeyes are having a nice resurgence there. Offense is starting to click. Defense is playing a little bit better. Be dangerous come college football playoff time.
2nd down and 11 for Jason Bean, looking to throw it. Completes it to Lassiter. Picks up the first down. Moves the chains, knocked out of bounds by Lawrence. November 2nd, remember, is when those college football playoff standings come out.
Oklahoma's
13-yard gain.
Oklahoma's trying to make sure they're still in the running for that. Trying to hold on here and get a victory against Kansas.
Now ranked number 3rd in the country. And they're not building a lot of style points with these close margins. Robert, I want to talk a little bit about that on the other side of this play, and if it has any significance. You were down in Dallas with that de facto committee going through a mock draft situation. And what do you think about how it might impact Oklahoma in a game like this, if at all?
Well, this game is one where the committee is going to look at it and say, this isn't a great win, right? It was a close game the way it played all the way through. But for Oklahoma, if they just get the win, down the stretch they have 2 of their last 3 games against Baylor, Iowa State, and Oklahoma State, and 2 of those games are on the road. So if they win those games, the committee will look at those as not only good wins, but great wins, and that will get them in if they stay undefeated.
2nd and 14 for Jason Bean. Rolls out, delivers a strike complete to Grimm, still on his feet. Grimm close to the 40-yard line, and the Jayhawks invariable and inexorable in their intent and effort. 25-yard gain and a first down.
Woo, you see Jason Bean getting on the move. Grimm runs a nice little out route, gets vertical. Woo, it's exciting football today, fellas.
No doubt. Looking for their first conference win in almost 2 years. Trying to snap a 16-game losing streak against Oklahoma. There's a little movement on the left side of that offensive front.
False start, number 68. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
There's a penalty against Bostic Jr. Here's a look at the schedule. And you point to those last 3 games as big ones, huh?
Oh, yeah. You got Baylor, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. And 2 of those are away. You got at Baylor and at Oklahoma State. Ranked opponents, teams that are generally believed to be good football teams, could be ranked higher after this weekend. Oklahoma's got a nice little slate on their hands after the bye week. So they're really looking at this right now, trying to get a W just so they can survive to get to those games.
1 second on the play clock. They just get it off. Little receiver screen complete. And the ball got stripped, got peeled loose. The Sooners got it. Justin Broyles took it away from McBride, and the Sooners have possession. Wow. He just peeled that ball from him, stripped him clean.
You want to talk about taking the air out of the balloon? Justin Broyles, here's Stephen McBride. He's running just one too many spin moves, right? They get the ball out of there. Honestly, whoo, who was that? Looked like Key Lawrence is the one who might have got that ball right there with the punch. Man, he hit that ball like Mike Tyson trying to get it out of there. They get the ball back. Momentum swing, momentum swing. Uncle Mojo is with Oklahoma, and they can really maybe put this game even further out of reach. They can go and get some points here on offense.
Well, Alex Grinch, the defensive coordinator, should be happy with that play by his defense. They get the ball back, 1st and 10 from the 47. Williams hands it off to Brooks. Brooks keeps those legs moving, picks up about 8 on the play. But he's 2nd down and 2.
Man, Key Lawrence, he got the keys, right?
How about that?
That was exactly what the doctor ordered for Oklahoma. You see the look on his face. He's like, come on, man. What we doing out here? He's making plays. He punched that ball like he really meant that one.
Took his cornbread. 2nd and 2. Brooks in the backfield. Comes across the formation and going to be brought down for a loss of 1 on the play. So 3rd down and about a long 3 coming up. Jeremy Robinson right there in on the stop. And the Jayhawks defense needs to get off the field here.
It's a tall task, a big ask of this defense. As we showed you the numbers earlier, they're ranked in the bottom in a lot of areas. But today they have played well. But in the second half, they haven't stopped the Sooners yet. They need to right here if they want to have a chance.
Let's see who the go-to is for the Sooners in this critical spot. Williams kept it, pulled it out, and fires incomplete. Good coverage and well defended, and good pressure from Johnson, Kyron Johnson. Right there, number 15, makes it 4th down.
You talked about Kyron Johnson, and in these moments, your best players have to show up. But look at these guys out here. They are blanketed in coverage. Jeremiah Hall, nobody's getting it to him. And Caleb Williams tried to extend the play as much as he could with his legs like he has, and here they are on 4th down, going for it.
Brooks in the backfield. And the play clock's going to run out. Maybe just trying to draw him offside, or they got a timeout first. Oklahoma takes timeout to think it over. We'll be back on the other side of this.
Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Lawrence, Kansas was the childhood home of poet, author, activist Langston Hughes. His first novel is thought to be inspired by his life right here in Lawrence, Kansas. He has an appropriate quote applicable to this game when he says, "What happens to a dream deferred? Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly." So far this afternoon, the Jayhawks have taken flight. But right now, circling, waiting. 4th and 3. Trying to have this upset come to fruition. Williams keeps it on the quarterback counter. Gets the first down, still on his feet. The Magic Man pulls out the magic wand. Touchdown, Sooners.
Oh, he's a runner. He's a track star. Look at him out there going, breaking tackles. Very reminiscent of his 4th and 1 touchdown run for 66 yards against the Texas Longhorns. But right here, look, just confidence on his face. Arm tackles, man, you gotta be kidding me. He runs through there, rumbling, bumbling, touchdown. He says, "I'm here, Superman." That's what they call me.
Wow, Caleb Williams puts a silencer on the crowd here in Lawrence, Kansas. With another cardiac comeback again. It's just part of his lore right now.
Did you see his, look at his do-rag. It's flying. That's a cape, people. That's a cape. That's Superman right there.
Yeah, he hit the button and turned it into a cape.
That's his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. He said, I told you. I had you, fam. Let's go. Sooners in the lead.
Going back to his days in college. Comebacks. This is ESPN's College Football presented by Marathon from Lawrence, Kansas. Time winding down on what looked like a magical afternoon for the Jayhawks. But a turnover leading to a Caleb Williams sprint for a touchdown. And the Sooners outscoring the Jayhawks 28-7 here so far in the second half. Time now for today's Weekend Wake Up, brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast. As we look at menu of games, Oregon UCLA coming up a little bit later.
That Clemson-Pitt game. Woo, that's going to be an interesting one there in the ACC.
Yeah.
DJ Uiagalelei and Kenny Pickett really having a surging up the list of the Heisman and draft boards since the way he's playing this year.
Pass complete to the 40-yard line and then some. Bean hits Lassiter. Lassiter tiptoes out of bounds. 7:45 to go, down 11. They got to move with a little bit of tempo. They can't stick to the original script now, right, Robert?
No.
No more running down the play clock.
They can't run the play clock down anymore, but they're sending the play in, going to the huddle, but they're going to move a little bit faster here, and they're going to have to attack this secondary, which they felt like was the weakness of this defense, as you saw right there, Joshua Eden chasing Kwame Lassiter.
Who picked up 28 yards on that last play. 7:20 to go. Well, the play clock below 10.
Don't like that.
And throws a strike complete for the first down. That's Grimm. Grimm had a nice pass, catch, and run a little bit earlier. Another first down with a little over 7 minutes to go. I'm surprised, Robert, that he took so long in between plays.
I am a little surprised, but I'm very impressed with the route that Luke Grimm just ran. He turned the defender all the way around on that slant. He put some stank on that thing.
Okay. Fire. 11-yard gain on that last play. Little bunch formation to the left. They're going to run it, though. That's Devin Neal. Well, Top-Rank Boxing tonight from Atlanta. Big-time card, Robert. You're a big boxing guy. What do you make of these matches? Muhammad Ali's grandson, Nico, returning to the ring after winning his professional debut in August. Main card starts 10:30 Eastern on ESPN. Deportes, the app, one tap.
We know
to start at 7:30 Eastern.
We know that fight is all about Shakur Stevenson, the young god out there, man, doing his thing.
Lassiter with another good pass, catch, and run inside the 15. Hey, they're moving down the field with brevity here. 19-yard gain. Bean, touchdown, Grimm. Hold on. They're going to go for 2 here, probably.
Kansas said, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Man.
They're not done yet. Jason Bean with a strike into the end zone.
That Sooner defense didn't offer much resistance.
No, they didn't. Bean saw it, delivered right down the middle. Oh, my Lord, Luke Grimm.
Justin Boyles was the closest defender, about 7 yards away from him.
I don't even know if you can call that close.
Go for 2, as I said. Devin Neal in the backfield. They can make it a field goal game here. They run the reverse. Lassiter hesitated, and he's not going to get in. The Sooners will stop him cold, and it's a 5-point game, not a field goal game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that call necessarily. They go with the reverse, but hey, they're pulling all the tricks out the bag. It didn't work out. Their defense got to step up for them.
Henderson, number 5, Ohio State against Indiana, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, the ESPN app, one tap. What about the strategy here, Robert? Onside kick, or do you kick it deep? Which would you
I would kick it deep. Trust my defense. They've been playing well the entire game to get a stop and get the ball back to your offense.
Defense done a nice job today for the Jayhawks, holding Oklahoma to just 28 points. Every Kansas scoring drive, one we've just seen, has been 10 or more plays and using over 6 minutes on the clock. They kick it deep, and it will roll into the end zone. They were racing to try and recover that thing. They weren't that far off.
Hey, man, he almost got that to stop on the one.
Yeah.
That would have been impressive.
Let's take a look at today's more driven moment, brought to you by Goodyear. This was the big play, the strip, the punch, ball comes out, recovered by the Sooners defensively. And then several plays later, Caleb Williams with the full smoke for the Jayhawks.
He definitely said I run through arm tackles on that run.
Lincoln Riley was talking earlier in the week about being surprised by the thickness and strength of his lower body, his ability to run as well as he does, and he demonstrated it there as he does here. Williams gliding and hit, stays in bounds wisely, picks up about 13 on the play, 1st and 10 with 5:45 to go.
You know, you talk about Lincoln Riley and talking about just the way that Caleb Williams is built. You know, I never heard somebody say that thick legs was a bad thing.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
Especially when you're running the ball, running back, quarterback position, allows you to be more elusive, strong out there on the field.
Hands it off this time to Kennedy Brooks. And Brooks picks up about 6 yards on the play, 5:17 to go. Oklahoma looking to go 8-0 for the first time since 2004. This is how it started in 2019 for Spencer Rattler. And this is how it's going right now for Caleb Williams, top recruit last year. didn't get a chance to really have his coach, Lincoln Riley, come see him because of COVID, but he visited Norman and was convinced that this was the place for him, despite the fact that Spencer Rattler was already QB1 and a highly acclaimed quarterback, #1.
Right.
We thought we were going to see Spencer Rattler today, right? Honestly, right?
I think a lot of people thought they were going to see Spencer Rattler today, but Kansas had other plans. And let's not get it twisted. It's 3rd and 1 here. You still got 4 minutes left in this ball game. Kansas is not out of it yet. Oklahoma has to make sure they finish. They have been great finishers this year. They got to continue that today.
Brooks will have the opportunity. Stopped up. The intransigence of the Jayhawk defense coming up huge here. It sets up 4th and short.
Ruling on the field as the runner was short of the line to gain, 4th down.
Boy, that tells you that the Jayhawks have not let go of the rope. And when the coaching staff talks about being able to point to stuff besides the final score in building culture and a winning environment, they got a clip right there.
Yes, they did, and they have been relentless for 60 minutes. They said, hey, when something doesn't work, don't panic. Just keep trying, and that's exactly what they're doing. You got to commend them for that.
3rd and 1. Brooks this time spins off one. They get stopped. No, Williams took it out of his arms magically. What a play, leaving the Jayhawks shocked in his wake.
How did Caleb Williams do that?
Unbelievable. You talk about a timely, intelligent play. Caleb Williams says, I'll take that, thank you.
He says, hey, give me that right there. He takes it from him to get the 1st down on 4th and 1. Oh, my Lord, that is unbelievable.
So is that not a forward play? I've got to see that again. And wondering, are they going to look at this?
Previous play of a 1st down is under further review.
Yes. Or was his forward momentum stopped?
You could say it's his forward momentum, but it's almost like a forward handoff here, right? He's taking the ball from him, and it's not a fumble. It's not like he fumbled that away. So would you consider that as like a forward lateral?
Going to take a minute to unpack this and absorb what happened. Brooks was stopped.
Yeah, and he's going backwards. So maybe because he's going backwards
right here,
and Caleb Williams takes the ball from him going forward. No, man, that is I would love to be in that referee's ear right now, listening to what they're talking about.
Because forward progress begins when he's stopped.
Yeah,
right?
It has. I mean,
because he was definitely going backwards.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I think that makes the most sense is that it's an illegal forward pass.
Yes.
That's the only thing I can think of, because he took it away from him and it wasn't a fumble. And even if it was a fumble on 4th down, you wouldn't be able to fumble it forward and move the ball forward anyway.
Didn't hear a discernible whistle either.
That's very true.
So when do they whistle it dead? Let's have one more look and listen. See, to me, that looks like he was stopped, and the play should have been blown dead. And in real time, that's what it looks like.
And the play wasn't blown dead, so I don't know if he's actually in there looking to see if his forward progress was stopped. I wonder if he's in there looking to see what the down and distance was, where the ball should be.
Time on the clock.
Time on the clock. You see it right here. Boom, he gets hit. Rich Miller gives him that work, pushes him back. Caleb Williams says, sir, I got it. Give it to me. It's an interesting call here.
Yeah, I have an inkling it's going to be Kansas football. I mean, looking at that again in real speed and seeing when he took the football from him. And if Kansas does get the ball, they're in great field position with plenty of time to go.
Yeah.
They're still trying to adjudicate this.
Look at my man with the adjectives.
This has been a minute here.
This has been a minute. You dropping all kind of gems on him, man. I love it.
This is exciting stuff. Here's the call.
After reviewing the play, there was a legal forward handoff behind the line of scrimmage. Therefore, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Oklahoma.
Wow. Okay, there it is.
Look at that. Because it happened behind the line of scrimmage, it was illegal. It was a legal one. Man,
Caleb Williams with the presence of mind, the intelligence to grasp the ball, a precocious true freshman, takes the ball from his teammate Brooks there and says, let me get the first down.
The crazy thing is Rich Miller driving him back behind the line of scrimmage actually helped the play.
He wasn't thinking that at the time. Here's Brooks weaving in traffic, brought down, gain of about 1 on the play. Timeout called by the Jayhawks. And that's going to be one that sticks in their craw for a minute. 2nd and 9.
Kansas has called their first charge timeout.
That's going to be their first timeout of the half, 2 remaining. Big 12 now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Next Saturday, the Cyclones and Mountaineers square off in football at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. And on Halloween, the Big 12 Women's Soccer Championship starts in Round Rock, Texas. The quarterfinals begin at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Central. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. Caleb Williams with the play of the game again. The touchdown run, and then stripping the ball from his teammate on a 4th down conversion.
It's almost as like every week he's out there playing, he's like, oh, y'all thought y'all saw, you thought you saw the best of me. Wait till I show you something right now. Wow. Maybe he hasn't been the best in the passing game, right? Maybe he hasn't been as explosive in the running game as we might have expected, even though he did have a big run. But he's making plays to help them win games, no matter what the outcome.
You can see why his teammates naturally gravitate towards him. Great leader by example again here, around the edge and tiptoes out of bounds. Under 3 minutes to go. This is the big play a moment ago. Brooks held up. Williams takes it from him and runs for the first down.
And you watch him here off the zone read. He's just faster than everybody else. Yeah. The way he's built, you wouldn't think that, oh, this guy's fast, but he is a strong runner. He's got sweet feet. He wanted to stay in bounds there, but the clock is still running and he's fine. I think maybe he thinks he's already in the NFL where they stop the clock when you're out of bounds. Right.
That might be his ultimate stopping point. 15 to 20 passing, doing it with his legs again here on 1st and 10. And this time Wisely stays in bounds. Kansas with 2 timeouts remaining. Coach Leipold thinking about perhaps burning another one at some point soon. And there it is. We talked a little bit earlier about coach and building the new culture. And in our meeting with Coach Leipold, I said, how do you measure culture change? How do you measure what you would define as wins? He said, you know, it's hitting all our goals in the weight room, body weight goals, classroom goals, handling your business, being a pro in your approach every day, and being a great teammate. I think they could probably check a lot of those boxes today, regardless of the numbers.
He talked about wanting to see success on the field. So you look at them today, right? They normally give up 43 points, only 28. Normally over 480 yards, only 380 today. Normally 250 passing yards, only 178. That is progress. He wants them to believe in their process. He wants them to have pride in playing for Kansas. I remember when we were at Baylor University and we wanted to turn that program around. They used to make us wear t-shirts that said, I play for Baylor football, to instill pride in us for wearing those colors. And he is doing that here at Kansas for sure.
Brooks breaks through the initial wave and pulled down at about the 11-yard line. 2:10 to go. Brooks with some pretty good numbers today. Picked up 7 on that game. Remember, he had consecutive 1,000-yard plus rushing seasons prior to sitting out last year with the COVID exemption. Today has run 21 times for 75 yards and a touchdown. Williams hands it off to Brooks again. Just tiptoeing and dancing between the tackles, brought down for a gain of about 2 on the play, and Kansas going to be forced to burn their final timeout pretty soon here. There it is. Well, when you want to look at models for success and blueprints for success with all of the history attached, Allen Fieldhouse, close by on campus here in Lawrence. And Bill Self, the head coach there, has another solid squad moving forward. There's a look at the preseason rankings. Gonzaga at number 1, UCLA, Kansas at number 3.
What do you think?
Baylor number 8, Robert.
I was going to say, what do you think about the reigning national champs being number 8 in the preseason poll?
Hey, and I want to take a moment too right now to declare restoration to full health over our dear friend Dick Vitale, who's undergoing chemotherapy treatments for cancer. Dick is a beloved friend and colleague, and we wish him nothing but the best, and pray for God to put hands on him.
You know, Dickie V, he's always fighting for everybody else, and just want him to know that we're fighting for him right now. We love you, brother.
Brooks down to the 4. Under a minute and a half to go. Kansas out of timeouts. The plan was perfect for the Jayhawks. And you think about the turnovers that ultimately did them in, Robert. The punch strip by Oklahoma, the recovery that led to the Caleb Williams touchdown run, and then another turnover a moment ago, which kind of sealed the deal for Oklahoma, who was lifeless and listless and impotent in that first half, and woke up in the third quarter, scored on the opening drive, and changed the tenor of this football game. Brooks. Why not? One more touchdown. And the Sooners with a little icing. Doing a little bit of straightening right now. Mom and Dad there, fans have made the trip from Norman, Oklahoma. Jayhawk fans probably knew what was going to hit them at some point, and it happened. Second rushing touchdown for Brooks today.
Did you see
Bean played a good football game.
Bean did play a good football game, and I'm saying, did you just see the way Kennedy Brooks just ran through that hole? He baptized that the defender sitting there at the goal line as he went into the end zone.
Yeah.
Playing with a physicality that you haven't really seen from them all throughout the game, but at the end of the day, their talent helped them win this game.
Right.
They found a way, just like they have all year. Look, Tulane, Nebraska, West Virginia, Kansas State, and we all know about the Red River Showdown and how they came back against Texas with that man right there. That's a bad man right there, right?
Yep.
They call him Superman. I look at his hair. We had his hair on one of the graphics, and I could only think, man, it probably smells like Shea Moisture Jamaican black castor oil or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
This guy is out here.
Don't give away the secrets.
Hey.
Don't give away the secrets now.
If you know, you know. All right? He has been phenomenal. He's just been a spark plug for this offense and this entire team. But what they need to do is start that spark earlier in games so they don't find themselves in situations like this. But I don't want to take anything away from Kansas and the way that they have played today.
Caleb Williams, a very self-aware young man. I'll tell you the story about where he went to school, Gonzaga High School in the D.C. area. Back in 1836, slaves in the local area helped work and build that school. Those slaves subsequently sold to owners in the state of Louisiana. On Caleb Williams' trip to LSU, he went and visited the grave site of those said slaves that helped build his school in Washington, D.C. And he brought home some of the dirt from the grave site and gave it to his high school coach and teacher. A young man who's very aware of his culture and of history and where he fits in all of it. Caleb Williams it's his football team.
It's his football
I don't
team.
think there's any doubt about that now. Again, 15 of 20 passing. Kansas is going to run out the clock here. Jason Bean runs out of bounds. On the flip side of things, Spencer Rattler will wait. We expected him to play today because, as I said earlier, Oklahoma came in a prohibitive favorite. I think it was about 6 touchdowns almost.
Yes.
And Spencer Rattler, we were thinking we'd see him, but not the case. This game a lot more competitive than we thought. So he will wait. And Lincoln Riley has been effusive in his praise of Spencer Rattler while he's QB number 2, saying that, hey, you know what? He's had 2 great weeks of practice, and he would play well if he was in there too.
Yeah, I think the way I can't praise Lincoln Riley enough for the way he has handled this situation, right? It's unfortunate. It's awkward. It's every superlative you can imagine for Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams. But when you have a head coach who supports his players, understands the delicacy with which you need to handle this type of quarterback situation when you have 2 high-profile guys, it makes it a little bit easier. And I think it just speaks volumes about the type of coach and person that Lincoln Riley is, that he is going out of his way not only to praise Spencer Rattler, but also to temper expectations for Caleb Williams. Right. Everybody wants to talk about his arm and his legs and everything that he's doing, and he's putting it on tape. It looks incredible. But Lincoln Riley is making sure he keeps everything in perspective.
Well, that'll probably do it with that last play. Jason Bean had a good day. Nothing to be ashamed of with the way he performed today. A transfer from North Texas, 16 of 22, touchdown, 217 yards. Did some great things running the football as well, just not quite enough.
And listen, in the loss, Jason Bean had a bounce back game. Throwing the ball, running the ball. He is a guy that they can lean on for the rest of the year as they continue to build out their program and get the results on the field.
This will be the final play. He'll air it out. And appropriately ends the game with a completion to Lawrence Arnold. But this one's over. Caleb Williams leads Oklahoma from a halftime deficit to a 35-23 victory. They improved to 8-0 for the first time since 2004. Whether it's a look of confidence, a smile, or not, he gets it done in the end. Let's go downstairs to Quinn.
Coach, congratulations. The guys found a way again. What was most responsible for the comeback?
We played a little bit better in the second half. Didn't have as many penalties. Got a little bit of momentum there with the team. You know, we're still working through it. You know, we haven't found a way to play as consistent as we need to. We found ways to win games, which is great, but we know our best ball's got to come here pretty quick.
How do you describe the play of your quarterback, Caleb Williams?
A little unsettled in the first half. Didn't play great in the first half. Was much better in the second half.
Have you ever seen a play like he made in that 4th down conversion at the end where he took the ball from a teammate? I mean, I've been watching football a long time, Coach. I've never seen anything like that.
Play, got some smart guys that know when it's those, you know, we talk about those situations and really you kind of got nothing to lose when something like that happens. So, you know, really smart player in Kennedy Brooks making a smart play. Caleb right there. I mean, he made big plays when we needed it.
Congratulations, Coach.
Final thoughts, Robert?
Yeah, you know, Langston Hughes, as you said, he's from this area.
Right.
He said, I've discovered in life that there are ways of getting almost anywhere you want to go if you really want to go. Oklahoma found a way to win. Kansas got the results they were looking for from the merits of their works, but it wasn't